There are a few things happening in the political world right now that I think are worth slowing down and actually talking about, because honestly, some of this stuff gets buried under the noise. Let's start here. The US is currently in a military conflict with Iran, spending around $1 billion every single day to carry it out. And the part that's hard to wrap your head around is that there's still no clear answer on why we entered, what we're trying to accomplish, or how this ends. Members of Congress are actually pushing to invoke something called a War Powers Resolution, which is essentially a constitutional rule that says, hey, the president needs to come back to Congress and get proper approval before continuing. The vote came close recently, and lawmakers are preparing to bring it back around the 60-day mark. Now here's where it starts to connect. While that money is being spent overseas, back home, a poll of nearly 20,000 American adults found that roughly 82 million people had to cut back on everyday expenses, including food, just to afford healthcare. And this wasn't just lower income families. People making over $100,000 a year were affected too. A Republican healthcare plan has been promised for years now, through campaign trails, debate stages, and press conferences, and it simply has never shown up. That's a real tension that people across the political spectrum are starting to voice out loud. And then there's a story that didn't get nearly enough attention. A recent report found that more federal inspectors general have been removed under the current administration than under every previous president put together. These are the independent officials whose entire job is to catch corruption, waste, and misuse of government money, basically the people watching the watchers. In several cases, the removal happened shortly after they released findings critical of the administration, or after they passed along whistleblower information to Congress. That's something worth knowing about, regardless of where you stand politically, because those offices exist to protect everyday people. Finally, and this one hits differently, several states are now moving forward with legislation that could bar undocumented children from attending public school, and would require school staff to essentially report their own students to immigration authorities. 6 states have introduced versions of this bill so far, and it directly challenges a Supreme Court ruling from 1982 that said every child has a right to a free K-12 education, no matter their immigration status. Legal experts expect this is heading towards another Supreme Court battle. And whatever your feelings are on immigration policy, the idea of pulling kids out of classrooms and putting teachers in the middle of it, that's a conversation worth having. Thanks for watching.